Hi, this is the podcast for parts 8 and 9. Um, parts 8 and 9, which looks at two different aspects of the church, two different marks of the church. One is how the church is one, and that would be in part 8, and then how the church is Catholic, which is part 9. I know for part 8 we went through this material before the Easter break, so I'm going to ask you to go back and look very carefully at your notes because it has been a few weeks since we did go over this material. At the largest level, it's important that you understand this concept of the church as one, unified through the Trinity, the idea of a common creed, and the hierarchy that joins the church together. Excuse me. And then also we examined both the divine aspects of the church and the human aspects of the church. So I'd ask you to go back. That was probably the day one notes from part 8. You should go back and look at that. Really important here was this parsing we did of the church itself, of the Catholic Church being the Western or Roman Church and the Eastern Church, but common because they were all led by the Pope. You have to know that absolutely cold. The next thing is there are two heresies and two schisms that we went over that you have to be aware of and familiar with. Expect to see these as multiple choice type questions. This you can expect to see as an essay type question with some kind of reflection about ecumenism, and that's that idea of Christians working together and identifying points of unity across all Christian denominations, and interreligious dialogue, which is Christians with Jews, Muslims, and other non-Christians. There were some points of unity for Christians, for Catholics and Jews and Muslims that you should know as well. So go back and look on day 4 of part 8 for those. That would be very important. So that's really what the church is one. That's really what that was about. We also talked a little bit in the very beginning about Jesus is the founder of the church and the Holy Spirit is the soul of the church. Yeah, you should be familiar with that as well. So that's for part 8. Now, part 9 it has to do with how the church is Catholic. Excuse me. Big, big, big. Know the differences here. Know the differences here. Go back and look at the notes. Church versus church. Remember, capital C always indicates Christian because it's unified by baptism. It's the unity of believers, and we always talk about baptism, salvation through Jesus. Then there's a very nice list of distinguishing factors. What distinguishes the Catholic Church? You need to go back and look at that. It has to do with hierarchy. It has to do with 7 sacraments. It has to do with concepts of salvation. We spent a day discussing about the promise of salvation. You should be very familiar with that. I would suspect from an essay perspective, you'll have something about salvation and the church. Okay, that would be very, very important. And then the other very important thing is the missionary mandate, role of evangelization, new evangelization, and religious persecution. We looked specifically about Pakistan. And the example for evangelization that we used is Dorothy Day. I would go and very carefully look at all the classwork. I'm going to hand the classwork back, our review day. The first part of the day, I'm going to hand back the classwork that we've done. And we did a couple of deep dives, and I would like you to study those in preparation for the test. The test will be, I haven't quite decided yet, it's either probably between 20 and 30 multiple choice, and then there will be 2 short essays, not full-blown 4-paragraph essays, probably 1 2 to 3 paragraph and 1 paragraph essay. Every class will get a different essay, so there'll be lots of different ways we're going to look at this material. I'll be available before school in room 301, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Should you have any questions, always email me as well. I'm going to be looking at the review guides. They're worth 10 points on your review day, which if you have religion tomorrow will be tomorrow. For periods D and E, it will be on Wednesday. Thanks.